Hello, it's Kimmerix, and I'm coming back at you with yet another gigantic video. The day after I post this, Matiga should be putting a patch out that addresses one of my core issues with the game. We'll finally have access to custom lobbies. Now, this is huge for the competitive scene. The ability to bring 10 specific people together to play one match is going to be key to the competitive future of Gigantic. Now, Matiga did hint that they wanted to add a spectator mode to the custom lobbies, and that would be a really incredible thing to get immediately, especially with the Guardian Arena trying to get back up into full speed. I did notice that during the creation of this video that there were quite possibly some new commands for the console that were related to a spectator type camera. So hopefully that all comes together. Either way, I'm extremely excited about the near future of Gigantic. And to top that all off, we even have a new character coming. And it even appears that Matiga's changed its stance on its cosmetic items. For a while there, they only worked with the rubies, the cash currency of Gigantic, but now the gold coins actually work for them as well. Even the newer skins that came into this game as rubies only are going to be converted to gold coins as well. This system gives the free-to-play only players something to really gun for. Hopefully this all goes off without a hitch. I'm really excited to see what comes in the next month. Now, I didn't plan on bringing any of this up. Originally, this video was planned to be a Ramsay overlook, so I'm going to jump right into that. Now, I know he's not brand new, but I did want to put in a good bit of time with him before even really talking about him at all. And over the past couple days of playing with him, I've noticed something very interesting about how Gigantic's being developed. Actually, now that I think about it, even before that time. Whenever I found myself fighting against a Ramsay in game, I never really thought, oh god, this is going to be horrible, he's so overpowered. And then while playing him, I never really thought to myself, god, they really need to buff this character, he's so weak. I'm hoping this trend continues with Matiga, but we'll have to see. Some of his abilities certainly need some augmentation. They feel like there is no right moment to pick them up. There's no enemy team comp that really matters with what benefit it would bring. And with how Matiga has recently adjusted Voden, I expect them to eventually come to a conclusion that's just as interesting. It's a weird feeling for me to have faith in a gaming company like this. It doesn't happen often. So I want to start off with talking about what makes him a truly unique character in my opinion. His attack animations. At times he feels a little less like a melee character and a little more like a pseudo-ranged. This is a little jarring for me at times when I'm trying to hit someone who's usually that 1 or 2 steps further outside my arc of attack than normal. But that's something I have to get used to, no real fault of the character. I don't feel like he's as punishing with accuracy as, let's say, Taito or even Trip, and it would probably make him one of the better melees for someone new to that character concept to pick up. This idea is reinforced when I take into account the animation on his dodge attack. The toolset of all these animations play very well into how his character is supposed to play overall. He's one of the few characters in Gigantic that gains benefits when using a dodge attack over a regular attack. And this is taken even further when you consider that one of his abilities is a free dodge. One that moves substantially further than his regular dodge and also applies an attack animation to the movement. In between all the augments he can get to the cooldown on his dodge, whether or not he has stam, how fast he can regenerate it, what types of bonus attacks and debuffs he can throw out based on when he dodges and how he attacks. It makes him one of the more survivable frontline DPSs currently in the roster. Take into consideration that his character model is probably no bigger than Wu, and yet his mobility is possibly even higher, at least his on-ground mobility. Wu will always have the benefit of being able to jump tall buildings. And depending on the map, that is a pretty incredible tool in the toolbox. As of right now, there's only a small handful of builds on Ramsay that are really worthwhile, and that's really the greatest criticism I can give to this character design. It's an interesting approach to new character releases. Most companies, when they have this type of freemium setup, they'll approach these new characters as a way to pull money in, making them drastically imbalanced early, forcing players to just kind of want to hop on that bandwagon of one man rolling an enemy team, only to eventually nerf him into the ground after all the money was gained. Ramsay just doesn't feel like this. I'll have to see if this trend continues the day after I post this, because the new hero just sounds interesting. And I mean, come on, just look at him. So ridiculous. I can't wait to see where he fits into the game. Supposedly he's a support type, but we'll see if he's some kind of hybrid. That would probably be a little more interesting. Before I go, I'm going to let you in on a little bit of Ramsay's biggest weaknesses. One that if used properly almost negates him as a character in most combat. The main ones I'm talking about here are the ranged characters who have the ability to jump up cliff sides. As a Ramsay player, you should probably take note of where you're about to fight someone and whether or not they can escape easily. It's one of the more important strategies you have to develop on him. There's little room for error when fighting a Charnock from close range as it is with his fire breath, but to allow him to then jump up a cliff you can't chase on and just start hucking fireballs down at you, it's a big mistake in judgment. It's a little less unforgiving if you're able to ambush an Amani, but if she's close enough to a cliff and she's got the leap function on her smoke bomb, you're not finishing that kill. Other than that, he has enough strength and options to really fill any role that he needs to. Take into account who's on your team and what benefit they bring, and figure out whether or not you need to make the adjustment to fill any gaps. If you're able to do this, he's probably one of the better melee choices a team can take, at least when it comes to the ability to engage, wreak havoc, and escape. But because he lacked speed to run away from combat, you are going to be relying on your team's engagement to really help you out. If you're the last to leave a fight, you will most likely be dead. Hopefully this gives you a little bit of insight into how Ramsay plays. Whether you're looking for ways to counter him or improve your own play, thanks for stopping by to watch. Hopefully you learned something. It will be interesting to see what Matiga does to adjust him from here. I'm Kimrix, and if you're looking for more gigantic content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the arena.